Are you feeling a little stressed while you're running your small business? Well, keep watching. I'm going to give you a few tips on how I manage my own stress running my own small business. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of every time I post a new video on how you can grow your business to create the life you've always wanted. If we haven't met already, my name is Jamie. My husband and I have built a 7-figure service business here in Iowa, and I know it's just not an easy thing to do. So I'm here to encourage you on your path, on your journey to grow your business. The first step to managing stress in my business is really to just recognize it. It's so easy to get busy with everyday tasks of business and life that you really don't take the time that you need to self-reflect. I found that when I can intentionally take time out of my day and plan to just sit and listen to the Holy Spirit and think, it really helps me process through all my emotions and just problems that I might be having. I also journal. That's very helpful as well. I journal about what I'm grateful for. I also journal about problems. I guess you could call it complaining sometimes. And then when I go back from and look at weeks and months and years of journaling, I tend to see themes, and those themes can cue me in on what I really need to work on or what I need to address in my life. And they also help me sort out some things that really aren't immediate issues. They're more drama related. And that stuff I can just let go. I can just write about it, vent about it in my journal, and then forget about it. One of the questions I like to ask myself when I'm journaling is, what am I focusing on that really I have no control over? And if I'm honest with myself, about 80% of my stress comes from things I can't even control. And so when I make an effort to point that out to myself and journal about it, I can let that stuff go and use all of that time and energy to focus on what will really move the mark in my life and in my business. So tell me, what is something that you are stressed out about that you have no control over whatsoever? Drop a comment. I want to hear what it is, and we can talk about it. The next thing I ask myself when I'm journaling is, what am I doing that's creating my own stress? So there's stress that we create on our own deliberately. Sometimes we don't realize we're doing it. And then there is stress that's caused just by things that happen to us in life that we can't control. So by sorting that out and figuring out what we can control and what we can't, it makes it a little bit easier to deal with. For example, one thing that I can't control is an employee who calls in sick. I can't do anything about it. I have to call customers, reschedule. I can't do anything about that. But what I can control is an employee who calls in sick all the time. And if that's causing me stress, then most likely I haven't dealt with the problem on the front side. I haven't set the expectation about what's acceptable in being late or being absent. And so really it's my own fault. But when I realize it's my own fault, then I can actually do something about it. It's in my control to have that conversation with the employee about what's acceptable and what's not. There's an old proverb that goes something like this. A young man was walking down an old country road, and he passed a farmer sitting on his front porch, rocking in his rocking chair and drinking a cup of lemonade. And there was a dog, an old hound dog beside him that was howling and yowling. And the young man said to the farmer, "What's wrong with your dog?" And the farmer said, "Oh, he's just sleeping on a nail." This is a perfect example of self-inflicted stress. Just get up and move. Another thing I have to ask myself is, am I full of peace? And if the answer is no, then I really have to examine my life, because peace is a fruit of the Holy Spirit. And I have to ask myself, am I taking control of areas of my life that I really need to give over to the Holy Spirit? If I think of the Holy Spirit as a guest in my home and I seat him in the living room and I won't allow him into the kitchen because the kitchen has dirty dishes and I need to clean them up, then I'm really striving in my own strength to get cleaned up and wash the dishes before I let him have access, when really what he wants to do is wash for me. Letting the Holy Spirit have this kind of access to every area of our lives can be kind of challenging, especially for us business owners, because we're so used to forcing doors open and making things happen and definitely not asking permission, that we can get impatient and while we're waiting on God for answers. But I've learned, and I'm learning still, to be God dependent and less independent, because I know that God can do more with my 20 minutes than I could in a whole lifetime. And likewise, He can do more with a penny, one of my pennies, than I can do with $1 million. So I'm learning to trust. If you're struggling to see the light at the end of the tunnel because of the stress in your business, I'd love to chat with you about it. Sometimes it just helps to talk to somebody, get a new perspective. Book a strategy session by clicking the link in the description box below. And be sure to click this link on more tips and strategies on how to grow your small business. The link will be in the description box below. And remember, when you grow your mind, you don't have to grind. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.